Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to live Q&A on February 25th, 2019. I'm glad to be here. Flew out to LA this past weekend, so that was interesting and fun. Back to get to work here. Got a week's worth of work, actually a lot more than that to do this week, because next week is Dice Tower West. So very much looking forward to that. A couple things about the things that are happening soon. We're almost done putting backer kit together, so that's going to go out to all our Kickstarter backers soon. But there's a lot of work to way our whole thing is put together, so we'll have that done soon. And Dice Tower Retreat, we should be able to announce the dates. I'm hoping this week. Still finalizing some stuff with that. So if you have questions, now is the time to ask them. All right, so let's jump and see if we got any. What was my favorite game I played while in LA? Well, sorry, I forgot the name of the game. I don't know why. Well, this is kind of, I'm afraid to say, I guess because it spoils my review of it later on. Oh, whatever, I don't care. I don't got time for that. Magnastorm. Magnastorm was my favorite game. That was such a fantastic game. I really enjoyed that one. Played a lot of cool games, but that was my favorite one of the games that I played. Where is Curious George? Well, I don't know. Best player count for Feast for Odin? I think I like it best with 3. What are my top 5 Marvel stories? Well, Civil War, the first one. Infinity War. The Age of Apocalypse. Avengers Disassembled / everything that followed that. And probably the Hope, whatever, the one where Hope was born and all that with the X-Men. Why did I go to LA? I was going there to record some with a TV show that's going to be shopped around a little bit to some different networks. So I will probably be out there again for more of that as time goes by. Let's see, top Kickstarters coming soon that you're looking forward to. Oh, we do a show every other week called Crowd Surfing. So you can check out our Crowd Surfing show. We just did one last Wednesday. So every other week you will see Crowd Surfing. So that's where we talk about stuff that we're interested in coming out. Best player count for Friday. I don't normally let the day affect me for player count. Sometimes, I mean, Friday's usually the end of a week, so it depends how much stuff's done. Usually I can get more people together on a Friday than not. Best food I had in LA. You know, actually I didn't eat a whole lot of food while I was there. So probably just, I had some dim sum there. That was pretty good. When will we get more info on the 2020 Dice Tower Cruise? Well, when that contract is signed, there's a lot that goes into these contracts and all, and we're working on them. I would imagine we'll announce it soon, and then we'll announce the date that the tickets will go on sale soon, too. Again, I'm waiting for Jason on information for that. Am I aware to any updates to the Project Elite Kickstarter? Oh, I apologize. I don't work for CMON, so I don't really keep track of when different things are going live and stuff. There's fewer people watching today than normal. Not many questions. This will be a fast Q&A. I'm already caught up to all of them. Did you see the new Jaws game by Ravensburger? No, I've not seen that. Let's look that up. Jaws game, Ravensburger. Okay, maybe. You know, I know this is gonna be weird. Is that I'm not a huge Jaws fan itself. I think the movie is. I mean, I'm not saying the movie's bad or anything. That kind of movie didn't interest me that much. I know it's a classic and everything. It's okay, but so the new game, sure. What do I think about the collector's edition of Suburbia? I'm sure it's fantastic. I haven't really seen it in person. I think it's weird that some people are buying it 20 colors or whatever. Why do you need that many colors for one game? I get that. That just seems to be like the epitome of having too much stuff for a game. You're like, but then I can pick any color I want. I can have any city I want. Sure, but 20 colors? I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Will you advertise the TV show you were on when I was on air? Oh, sure. And we'll talk more about it as it gets closer. Any advice for a new podcaster? Well, for a new podcaster, I'd recommend trying to find your own voice, first of all. There's so many podcasts out there, so you want to find your own voice and what can you do differently than everyone else? How are you going to sound different? And then just consistency. Consistency is a huge thing when it comes to podcasting. To consistently say, okay, I'm going to put it up every Wednesday. I'm going to put it up every Friday or every 2 Fridays, whatever it is. Because when you're consistent, your viewers will come back for more. What's the word in the back? I can't read the back of my shirt. What's the best book you've read recently? Actually, I've read quite a few bad books. I just read a book that I highly disliked. It was called Codex. It was written by Mr. Grossman, who wrote the Magician's novels, which I thought were fine. And then I saw he wrote this Codex book, and it was well written. So I like reading books that are well written, but wow, was the ending so... The ending, I kept thinking the book was going to go somewhere, and it never really did. It felt like it could have been written as a short story. Anyway, so I need to read a good book soon. Who will be going to Essen this year? Many people, I'm sure. I was considering picking up Big Trouble in Little China, but it seems like an awful lot of setup. Do you have any games that don't get to the table because of setup time? Oh, sure. Lots of games don't get to the table because of setup time. All those big dungeon crawls and things like that, you just don't play them as much because of setup time. Even yesterday I played Caverna, and I was like, wow, I'm really glad I had the broken token insert for this because the setup time took a really long time even with that insert. Please speculate why there are less viewers today than normal. Well, I don't know. It could just be because maybe YouTube didn't send out notifications. Maybe people saw that it was me answering questions and not someone else. Hardback or paperback? I tend to like my books paperback. But nowadays I read most of them online. So Kindle was my answer to that, actually. Where'd you get your upgraded components for Architects of the West Kingdom? I just used the Stegmeyer chest stuff. He has gold pieces, and you can find a lot of that at Top Shelf Gamer. They sell a lot of these upgraded components, and that's what I use to upgrade things. My favorite TV show in the CW? I don't know if I watch any shows in the CW. I know my daughters do. They like Flash and stuff. I don't watch much TV at all, although I did watch Umbrella Academy and really loved it. I think it's my favorite series on Netflix that I've seen so far. Oddly enough, I actually did read the comic a decade ago or whenever it came out. I remember reading the comic and thinking, it was a strange comic, but I thought the TV show was actually superior to the comic. And so I watched it with my 2 oldest daughters, or, well, not Melody, the second and third oldest daughters, and my wife, and we all really enjoyed it. I really liked the soundtrack. I thought it was fun. Some people said it dragged in the middle, but I didn't feel like it did. It was interesting to me the whole way through. What'd you do on your plane ride to LA to keep you occupied? Well, on the way there, I worked. I just got internet and just answered emails and did lots of administrative work. On the way back, I slept. What's your favorite book in the Reckoner series? The first one, but they're all good. Where would you move the dice out of Rising Sea Levels claimed homestead? Well, if Rising Sea Levels claim homestead, I'm going to be thinking about getting out of Dodge. And where I move to at that point would be irrelevant, I think. It'd be more like, let's just get out. Has the bar been lifted for a game to get Dice Tower Seal of Excellence? It seems like several 8-rated games are getting seals of approval. Sure, that's been over a year, actually, since we've started doing that. I raised the bar because I wanted the Seal of Excellence to really mean something. Tom, what do you think about Keyforge now after 2 months and the next expansion is coming out soon? Sure, Keyforge is still a fine game. I don't think it's changed. Have I played any of the Mysterium expansions? I'm not a huge fan of Mysterium, so no. Do you pick clothes to match the hat or a hat to match the clothes? I do the hat last. What do you think of the habit of some companies to number their games, like Quinns games? Is it more for marketing purposes or to better ensure a customer about the quality of the games? It's all marketing. Has nothing to do with quality. It's just so that for people who like to, like, oh, I don't have number 7, I should get it. That's what it's for. Is Caverna worth it for just 2 players? I really like Caverna with 2 players, actually. I have not played Tales of Glory. What do you think about all the 3D printer upgrades people are making for games? I love it. Do you prefer Exit or Unlock? Exit. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? None. I don't like breakfast cereal at all. I haven't eaten it for 23 years, 24 years. When I left the house at college, I said to my mom, I'll never eat breakfast cereal again. And she's like, yeah, you will, but I didn't. Love you, Mom. I just don't like putting milk on cereal. I don't like it at all. But if I had to pick one, I guess Cookie Crisp, because it's cookies. What's my favorite kind of cookie? I don't know. There's so many good ones out there. But I really like sugar cookies. I know they're very, normal, but I really like sugar cookies. For packaged cookies, I really liked when Oreo was making those ones that were covered with chocolate and then had some raspberry inside them. Those are really delicious. But for packaged cookies, I like the Pepperidge Farm stuff. I like the Milanos. I really like Milanos. Chocolate chip cookies, of course, are fantastic. 2 chocolate chip cookies with icing in the middle is also fantastic. I try not to eat cookies too often, but they are delicious. How do you think games will continue to evolve without getting technology-based add-ons like apps? I think that's going to be how they evolve, actually. Have I watched Umbrella Academy? Yes. What I mean is, who from your different shows will be going this year, or do you not know yet? Oh, several people. Do you know if they're going to be making any more games based off the books from Brandon Sanderson? Yeah, they are. They're making one off The Way of Kings. I have no idea how they're going to make a game off of that for sure, but they're making one. And I think they're making one for the sequel to Mistborn 2. But don't hold me to that one. I know they're making one for Way of Kings. Do you know approximately when tickets will go on sale for Dice Tower Cruise? I would imagine end of March, beginning of April. If you have questions, who do you email? Just email us at cruise@dicetower.com. Interested in a Feast for Odin, but can usually play 2 players. What are your thoughts on the game with 2-player count? I really like it with 2 players. 2 months in 2019, do you smell a trend in the wind for 2019 board games? Not yet. Ask me after Gamma, and I'll have a better idea on that. Did you watch the Oscars? I did not. I was really tired last night. So I went through a list of the winners, but as is almost always the case with the Oscar movies, I've seen almost none of them. I saw Black Panther, but the rest I did not see. I may not see. I'm not usually a fan of Oscar movies that win the stuff. It's just, I don't know, I kind of watch movies for fun. I mean, I don't mind watching a movie that makes you think, right? But generally, that's not what I'm doing. I don't still watch that many movies in general. How was the cruise? The cruise was fantastic. Do you like paperback books better than digital? No, I like digital better now because it just works really well. You know, like when I read on my iPad, or my phone, I read on both of them. And they're just with me all the time. So I can always read my whole library. I can read it while I'm standing in line. I can read it when there's downtime somewhere. And it remembers what page I'm on. And if I'm like, I'm tired of this book, I just switch to another book. It's super easy. Ever been playing a game that everyone loves, but you need to take it off the table to try out new games, causing everyone at the table to pout? You mean like we're in the middle of a game? Like, everyone's like, this is fantastic. All right, too bad, next game. No, we'd finish the game at least. I don't think I would do that. Do you think the latest expansion of Dominion would be okay without any expansions? Oh, sure. I played Dominion without any expansions for a long time. Excuse me. As a train driver and relatively new to the hobby, what's your favorite train transport themed game? I don't know off the top of my head, but that'd be an interesting top 10. We'll probably do that at some point. Are you the star of the TV show or a reappearing guest? I'm just a reappearing guest. It's a show about board games. We're pitching, I'm not involved with it, just showing up. They're pitching it as a Top Gear for board games. As time goes by, I'll talk a whole lot more about it, but a lot of it needs to be recorded. Do you feel that Paper Tales could take the place of Seven Wonders? No, I don't think so. What games would you remove your seal of excellence from with the new bar? Well, I mean, I guess any game that's not 8.5, right? I'm not going to remove it, though. We already gave it out. That would be silly to remove it from those older games. That's just not worth our time. It's just we're doing that for games that in the future. Am I still a fan of Zaya? Sure. I only trust Stronghold's Great Designer series compared to the Number series. That's so silly. I'm sorry. I make fun of Steven all the time about this because I'm like, so if it's not in the Great Designer series, it's not a great designer. So if you don't make the Great Designer series, it's a bad game. No, I don't think the Great Designer series versus the non-ones has that some are better than others. No, whatever. He just has good games and bad games, and I don't think his series matters one whit. Socialism or monarchy? Well, so I'm assuming you're talking about Civilization 6, which, by the way, I really like the new expansion for. But I think I would. I usually throw off both of them for a Republic. Monarchy works okay for like mid-game for me. I usually try to pick non-combat heavy civs. I'm not a big combat person in Civ. I'd rather win through culture and peacefully. That's kind of my thing. But although I just did in my latest game, I got so tired of Canada. Canada was my next door neighbor. Who was I playing? I was playing Sweden, I think, and Canada just kept poking the bear, and I was like, all right, that's it. And I just went and blew Canada up. Sorry, Canadians, this isn't a game, of course, but. Are you attending the UK Games Expo this year? Survey says most likely. What's my favorite and least favorite Dice Throne character to use? Actually, if you watch my review, I told you which one was my favorite in that one. Dice Throne Season 2. Scrambled, soft-boiled, hard-boiled, over easy, or sunny side up. It all depends on what the mood I'm in that day. I usually pick over easy. If I go to a restaurant, well, I'll pick Hollandaise if I go to a restaurant, but or Benedict Arnold. But over easy, probably after over easy, sunny side up, because it's practically the same thing. Then hard-boiled. I don't really know if I ever have soft-boiled. Deviled, can I pick deviled? Scrambled's fine. I'd rather if I'm going to have scrambled, I want an omelet. Hot breakfast or why bother? Yes. Although actually that's not quite true because I eat a lot of yogurt for breakfast, so. When's the last time you played Hero Quest? Whew. It's been a really long time. The last time I played Hero Quest, I got a copy of it, played it with Melody. And I was like, yeah, this system hasn't really aged well, so we got rid of it. I'm not a huge fan of Hero Quest anymore. But I mean, I played it a lot in the day. I really enjoyed it. So I'm not going to knock. I loved Hero Quest back in the day. But nowadays, with other games, I don't think Hero Quest has aged as well. What do you think Nicolas Cage's favorite board game is? I don't know. I've never met him. How do you like the late February weather in LA compared to Homestead? Oh, I like Homestead's weather better. I landed in the LA airport and I was like, oh no, I didn't bring a jacket. I forgot about jackets. It didn't even occur to me. I was a little chilly, but it wasn't too bad. Actually, it warmed up during the days and stuff. But at the hotel, I was surprised. They didn't even heat like certain areas. The halls of the hotel were cold. I went to breakfast at the hotel and it was cold. And I went to the lady and I said, when's it going to heat up in here? And she said, in about 3 or 4 weeks. I was like, all right, fine. And I went to my room, turned the heat on. I guess I am a Floridian now. Do you know any good games about music? There's a few, maybe with actual music playing. That's hard because getting the rights for music is very expensive. This channel is for fruitcakes. I don't know if I've ever had a fruitcake. I mean, I guess I've had cakes with fruits in, like pineapple upside down cake is a delicious cake. I haven't had a pineapple upside down cake in ages, though. When is the schedule for Dice Tower Con typically posted? Are you talking about Dice Tower West? Because Dice Tower Con is still a long ways away. Or are you talking about Dice Tower Cruise? That's even farther. But Dice Tower West, it's posted on the website, I think. Tom, you give a game an initial rating. What's the most common reason a game gets better for you? Replayability, player interaction, expansions, etc. Oh, there's a whole ton of stuff that goes in there, but fun, easily, is the number one thing. Do you have overall say on how the Dice Tower conventions are done? Ish. I completely control Dice Tower Cruise and Dice Tower Retreats. Both of those, anything that happens there is because that's the way I set it up. Dice Tower West, I have a lot of control over what goes on at that con for sure. Although Tim and Dave are the ones who run it, but I certainly have a lot of input into that. Dice Tower Con, I have some input into that, but that's run by Patrick, and so not as much in the Dice Tower Con. Wouldn't a Dick Tracy board game be cool? Yeah, it would be. I really like Dick Tracy. Who do I consider my biggest nemesis? Big Boy Caprice, Prune Face, or Lips Manless? Probably Prune Face. What's the most hyped game that everyone loves but you just didn't get it? Yeah. Well, that review will be coming in a few weeks. I'll just let you sit on that one. I'm very nervous about doing that particular review because I actually see that the game is quite a good game, but I personally don't like it. All right. Greetings from the small but growing board game community in South Africa. Hey! It's always good to see folks from all over the world, and greetings to you also. Do you think the success of this Cavern expansion is going to make them make another expansion? I don't know. I don't know that it needs to. Like, do we need more Cavern expansions? This one adds some stuff. It adds basically player powers and adds some more buildings. But that's a lot of stuff that it adds. I think it'll be fine. How did I end up at South Park Studios? Well, I sent out a tweet on Friday night when I was in LA, basically saying, "Hey, I'm in the area. I want to play games." And Trey Parker saw that tweet and emailed me and asked if I wanted to come over and play board games. And I thought, okay. So I did. And so I went over to the studios. It was just him. And me and another guy went over, and we went and I brought a whole pile of games and played some. He had a really nice collection of games there, actually. Cosmic Encounter and Western Legends and, some Euro games and all sorts of different games. Yeah, so we played games for about 3 or 4 hours, and then I came back here to Florida. One of my more interesting stories of my life, I guess. What's my favorite animal? Probably the tiger. So where did you actually hide the HeroScape stuff so Sam and Z couldn't show it all? I don't know what that question means, actually. This is making me feel like on the Back Talk show on Friday, I didn't watch that show. I don't even know what happened on that show. So maybe some of this stuff's going over my head here. Did anyone ask where I got those cool Wingspan markers from unboxing? I got them. I went to Etsy and got them from Etsy. Just type in Wingspan. Why do you think people think chess is smart? Well, just because of its, I mean, you are smart when you play chess to some degree. You use a lot of brain power. But that's just, one of the, it's been ingrained in our society that people who are smart play chess. They'll like show masterminds playing chess in movies and things like that, and that's, what you get. I had a question for you last week, but forgot. You remember what I was going to ask? You were going to ask me what's my favorite game that starts with the letter X, but I'm going to save that for when we actually do the top 10 list. Key lime or pecan pie? I don't like pecan pie, so that's pretty easy. The new pandemic game is going to be a real-time game. Pandemic Rapid Response? Is that a thing? Let's look. Pandemic Rapid Response. I don't see that anywhere. Did you just make that up? Wait, I found something on Reddit. Pandemic Rapid Response. There it is from Z-Man Games. It's showing dice on the table and a timer. Oh, that will be interesting to see how Z likes that one, right? That's interesting. I don't care one way or the other. I'm sure I'll play it. I tend to like real-time games, so it's probably good. Do you like Rothfuss, Name of the Wind, or Sanderson Mistborn better, and why? Oh my goodness, Mistborn by like a factor of 10. You know why? Because Name of the Wind is an interesting story, but the guy who is telling the story is so egotistical and so over the top in his opinions of himself that while it's an interesting story, I just don't care about him that much. He's amazing, and he knows he's amazing. And Mistborn, you're seeing people come from nothing and become powerful and deal with the struggles of that, and I really like that. Cake is better than pie? Well, no. But there is some really good cakes that are better than some pies. I will agree on that. My son bought the anniversary edition Pandemic and was disappointed as it was not any different. Then brought friends over and had them play Pandemic. They were blown away by the game and components. They now have joined the hobby. Do you see overproduced games being good at bringing people into the games? Sure. But I would argue, in that particular circumstance, he could have brought people over, played regular Pandemic, and they probably would have also been blown away. Favorite Italian food? Probably lasagna. Have you heard from Scott Nicholson anytime recently? I talked to him a few times over the course of the year. Sometimes it's been a while, but we live in very different parts of the world, so I'm sure I'll talk to him at the next con I see him at. Have you thought of having I would actually pay for this game kind of rating for games? But isn't that what my rating is? It's kind of like when people say, what 10 games would you take to a desert island? And I say, well, I would take my top 10 games. Oh, are you sure? But they wouldn't be my top 10 games if they wouldn't be the games I would take with me. What do you think of the new Villainous expansion? Well, I'll be reviewing that in a few weeks. Have you played the Evolution Digital app? I have not. Do you think you could do more for the board game community if you would organize more events in other countries? I could, sure. I mean, I could do all sorts of things. Is that possible for us to do, though? Not with any kind of reasonable success. Well, I'd like to do it at some point, but we're really busy running what we do now. Is the game Tom doesn't like that gets big hype going to be Kingdom Death? No, I haven't played Kingdom Death yet. You played board games with Trey Parker? Wow, so cool. Well, yes, it was a very nice person. Have you tried Kapow yet? My review of Kapow will be going up this week, actually. That's Sunday, I believe. That one's going up. I live in Taipei. I can't find anyone who can teach me how to play Cosmic Encounter. Is there an online solution? I'm pretty sure you can play Cosmic Encounter online. There's a Cosmic Encounter Facebook group. Go there and ask that same question. The designer himself will probably show up and teach it to you. Favorite classic NES game? Probably Link to the Past. No. Wait, oh wait, NES. I get confused over which games are Super Nintendo and which ones are NES. NES is Link to the Past, right? I was going to say Final Fantasy VI, but that's Super Nintendo. Isn't it? Final Fantasy VI was not Nintendo, no. I didn't play a ton of Nintendo. I mean, I played a lot of those Nintendo games, but I don't really have like any desire to go back and play them. I'm more of a Super Nintendo. Maybe Contra? I don't know. Do you like legacy games? Yes. Can I make you a foam board insert for a game you have? Maybe. You'd have to email me. But I mean, honestly, I don't look at my games going, I wish I had an insert, because I upgrade the pieces for them and stuff. So sometimes then they don't fit in those inserts. So there's that. Just got into Marvel Dice Masters. You feel like the player mats are a must-have? I really do like having them, and I wouldn't play without them. The descriptions for Roll for the Galaxy and Tiny Epic Galaxy sound similar. They're nothing alike as far other than the theme. Do you have any inside information on the cancellation of the Aftershock Kickstarter? I'm pretty sure that when I talked to Mr. Bonacor about said cancellation, he told me exactly what it says in the last update for that. So, no. Jason Solo or Ben Solo? Oh, is it okay if I dislike both of them? I really disliked Jason's story arc in the books because that's what I read. And Ben Solo, you know, it's okay. He's a decent villain. They're fine, but I don't really care one way or the other. How about Jaina Solo? How's that? That's my answer. You know, I still haven't played the Transformer TCG game. I should probably get around to it at some point. Pandemic Rapid Response is designed by Kane Klenko, so I wonder how similar it will be to Fuse and Flatline. Yeah, probably very similar, actually. Well, who knows? Thoughts on putting fruit on pizza? I'll put pretty much anything on a pizza and eat it. Why not? What two games would you think would be cool to combine? I don't actually ever think that usually. I don't sit there and go, oh, we should put these two games together. Sometimes it works, right? But often it doesn't work. So it's just nothing that I really care that much about. WizKids are reprinting Relic. Do you think at some stage they will reprint its expansions, Nemesis and Halls of Terror? Well, goes to show, I didn't even know the game had expansions. I have to be honest, I don't really care about Relic at all. It's just Talisman with this 40K theme. Have you got U-Boot in yet to review? I have U-Boot. I've been sitting on it for a really long time, but they told me the app wasn't done. I mean, is the app done yet? They should have emailed me if it was. I'll get it to the table super fast if that's the case. Do you watch South Park? I don't, actually. Waffles, pancakes, or French toast? I guess waffles. Link to the Past is Super Nintendo. Oh, you're right. Not Link to the Past. I'm sorry. Legend of Zelda 2. That's not called Link to the Past. It's just Link. I don't remember what they're all called. There's so many games. Link to the Past is one of my favorites. I'm thinking of the second one. There was Zelda and Zelda 2. The Awakening? I don't remember what it was called. Do you think if you put the number of worked hours you need for each video at the end of these videos, people will get how much work you all do? Maybe, but I think also people will be like, you put 3 hours in that video. If you had put 4, it'd be so much better. Latest Star Wars Imperial Assault expansion was released August 23rd. Nothing new has been announced since. Do you think Imperial Assault is complete now? Maybe it is. Who knows? You can be at the yellow booth at a con. I think people will take you for staff. Sure, but I don't think any company owns a color. Favorite character to play in Western Legends? Maybe Billy the Kid? I don't know. I don't care. I'll play any of them. Have you thought about consolidating the video content on this channel? I don't know what you mean by consolidating it. We put it on playlists or making a second Dice Tower channel. We thought about making a second Dice Tower channel, but we just almost anytime I see any of these YouTube channels make a second channel, no one watches the second one. Do you think it's going to be very difficult to fully review a legacy game for the channel? Yeah, I mean, we've only ever played through 2, 3 to completion, I guess. We still haven't finished Queensdale, I haven't finished Betrayal Legacy, and I don't know if and when they will get done. What is Quinns Corollary and Rodney's Rule? Well, I mean, according to the thread on the internet, I can't even pronounce the word corollary. Okay, so Quinn's thing is, for reliable purchases, find games that have been republished with all new artwork. That's very reasonable, right? I mean, if it's been republished with new artwork, if the game has been republished, it's probably a good chance, a good game. Now, I wouldn't agree on a personal level with that every game that comes out that way, because I don't like every game that comes out that way. A good example is one I reviewed last week, Stephenson's Rocket. It's beautiful, but I didn't like it. But that doesn't mean that doesn't disprove this rule. You still have a good chance of getting good games. Rodney's Rule is whatever game you think you really want now, you'll also find you really want a different game later. It's okay to let some of those desires go unfulfilled along the way. Oh, 100% yes. I agree with both of those, actually. For solo gaming, do you prefer goal achievement, AI to beat, or beat your own score? All depends what the game is, honestly. What's my favorite guitar riff of all time? I don't know. I don't know. The Legend of Zelda 2 Link's Adventure. Oh, okay. Can you all stop talking about food? It's almost midnight here and I try to avoid night snacks. Thank you. What do you mean, can we all stop talking about food? We can't ban food. Just don't eat. What's the ultimate die? D12. How do you plan to continue to grow the Dice Tower? Oh, there's always plans and things. I do one thing at a time. So right now, you'll notice that we're working on growing the live portion of our Dice Tower, where we're putting out live content each week, each day, and I think that that's going well. A lot of people are coming and joining for these sorts of things, and I'm glad for that. So that's I just work on one thing at a time. Well, actually, no, but I mean, sometimes I'm working on multiple things. Baseball or football, and which team do you like? Well, I tend to like baseball more than football, and I like the Blue Jays, although I couldn't name you a current player on their roster. What more did you actually want from a Feast for Odin expansion? I also felt like it was a 1.5 patch to the game. Well, the thing is that I didn't feel like Feast for Odin needed an expansion. There's games that are really good, and then they come out with an expansion like, ooh. And I was excited to play it for sure, because I love Feast for Odin, and that's great, but I guess it was a patch to the game, but again, I didn't feel like it needed it, and so there's nothing like I wanted more from it. It just, I don't think I was disappointed by it at all. It's just I was like, oh, that's good, and that was that. I feel pretty much a similar thing about the Caverna expansion. It's neat, and I'll probably play with it a lot, actually, but you don't need to play with it. You can still have a great time playing Caverna. Corollary. Thanks. Do you expect more choose-your-own-adventure games from Z-Man? Yes, and I'm kind of surprised that they've only done one. I thought they would do them a lot faster than that. Are you and Sam excited at all for the new Outer Rim Star Wars game coming out, or do you suspect that it's just Firefly reskinned? I don't think it's Firefly reskinned. They're different companies. I think it's going to feel similar to what Firefly felt like thematically, but I don't think it's Firefly reskinned. Is Merchants of Venus in the Dice Tower library? No, it is not. I don't. We are going to, what we're going to do with the Dice Tower library, and this is one of our smaller goals. I'm going to work on it, but we got Dice Tower Retreat. Backer Kit and Dice Tower Cruise are like and Dice Tower West. There are 4 very important things going on right now that we need to get those done first. But one of the things we're going to do is we're going to post a list of games that should be in the Dice Tower library, and if people have them and want to donate them to the Dice Tower library, they can. This is not me, oh, I need more games. I don't get enough games now. No. This is for the Dice Tower library itself, for people to play games. They're not coming to my personal collection. They're going to the Dice Tower library. Although I don't have a personal collection anymore. But so with that being said, so we'll post that. So Merchant of Venus will probably be on that list. We'll say these are games we're looking for. If we don't get them, so be it. But I'm not going to go out and hunt them down, probably. I've been hunting down a few games that I know are very hot and should be in the library. And as the years go by, the library is just going to get better and better because I do manage to get my hands on a lot of hot games. Older games will be a little bit tougher. And if we get them, we get them. If we don't, we don't. But I don't want to turn into a thing like, oh, because I know it can on the internet, like, can you believe that Vasel has this many games and then he's asking people for more? No, this is just for the library for Dice Tower events. What's your most anticipated game for the Switch? I don't even know what games are coming out for the Switch. This chat is basically about food with a minor and board games. How much home-cooked Korean cuisine makes a regular appearance at your dinner table? About once every 2 weeks we eat something from Korea, for sure. What's your opinion on Tiny Epic Tactics? It looks interesting, but that's about all. I haven't really looked too deeply into it. Roy says it's good. He played it. Would you consider licensing out the Dice Tower brand to make a board game cafe? Like a Dice Tower cafe? Maybe, but I would need to, there would be so much involved with that. It's possible, but I've never even been approached about it. Is Gold Fever in the Dice Tower library? No, I try to keep good games in the library. Do you have a list posted for games in the library? Sure, you can go online to Board Game Geek, and I believe it's, if you look up the user DT Library, I believe. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, DT Library, and there's 619 games listed in the library. I do not know if every game we have is listed in the library. I'm looking to see. Yep, there's one that was added in January. There's some games that in January. There's one, Critical Mass. I'm trying to think of a game that I just added to the library that I gave Kenny. Trying to think of a game I played last week that would have made it to the library. So I could look that up. But I'm seeing games that have been added. Oh, there's one. Fresco Big Box. Okay, that's one I added. Yeah. So right now, according to Board Game Geek, there are 612 games in the library. 619. But I have at least 10 more sitting out there ready to be added. And over here on the shelf, another 3 or 4 of those games are going, well, that one's going in for sure. Doesn't matter if I like it or not. That one's going in, that one's going in, that one's going in, that one's going in. Ooh, that one's probably going in. Those 2 are going in. There, that wasn't ambiguous at all. All right. People have their holy grail of board games. Do you have a holy grail hat? No, but I'm always like, I guess for me the holy grails of hats are, can I get, like this yellow fedora here is kind of beat up and all, and it's a little big too. I'm always looking for nice colored fedoras that I don't have yet. I finally got green and purple. I was very pleased. I'm still looking for a forest green fedora. I'm looking for a sky blue fedora. I'm looking for a pink fedora and a, what other color was I looking for? But they have to be good fedoras, right? They make these cheap felt ones and all sorts of things that you can buy, and they also have to be extra large. That's the problem. I usually find them and then they're not extra large because my head is extra large. So like different color fedoras that I don't have. That's would be my holy grail, I suppose. Repos Productions is going to put out a Ghost Stories 10th Anniversary Edition with a medieval theme where you try to survive orcs attacks and stuff with some streamlined mechanics. Man, you guys are way better on the news than I am. I haven't heard about any of this stuff. Can you see opening up more Dice Tower libraries in other states in the distant future? Well, we do have a secondary Dice Tower library, which is the one they'll be using for Dice Tower West. So that one's not as good as my library, but we're working on making it good. We're sending games out to it and adding to that one as much as we can. Would you consider renting out the Dice Tower library and staff to care for it to other cons as another revenue stream? Again, maybe, but I don't. I mean, I've never even been approached by people about things like that. It's like, oh, that's interesting, but I wouldn't go out of my way to offer it. If someone wanted me to do it, I'd be like, so what kind of work would this entail? By consolidating, I meant combining miscellaneous games reviews into one video or having less unboxing videos but multiple games. Would help focus and remove inbox clutter. Sure, I definitely have thought about it on the unboxing thing. I wouldn't think about with reviews, and I decided not to, and here's why. Because if I did the unboxing and there were multiple ones in one video, and you just wanted to see one of those, you got to find where it is in the video and go through it, and it's just cluttery. The way it is now, at least they can be separated out on our website and on Board Game Geek into the actual game. Do you think Pluto should be reinstated as a planet? It doesn't really matter to me, I guess. I can just say it's a planet. It doesn't matter if they call it one or not. I know technically it's a planetoid or whatever. I just say it's a planet. But I mean, what does it matter if they reinstate it or not? Do you think you have too much free time? No, I do not think that at all. No, I do not think that at all. Have I announced my new video editor yet? No, we haven't, but we'll announce when he arrives. He's coming this week. Why the black and yellow today? I just felt like wearing it, I guess. There was no special reason. Can I have a bottle of air from the Dice Tower studio with my Kickstarter shipment to Taipei? Well, since the shipments don't come from our studio, that would be very difficult to pull off. Yeah, free time. That's really interesting. If I do have free time, I spend it with my kids usually. So, yeah, free time. All right. Do you have an orange fedora? No, I don't have an orange one. I mean, someone gave me an orange fedora, but it was like a plastic one, and it was a little too small. Oh, well, no, I have an orange fedora that's like a straw one, I think, somewhere, or a mesh one. It's okay. It looks like a fedora someone would wear if they were going hunting. Air Force or Army or Navy or Marines? For what? I think the Air Force probably is best at flying planes. Did I discuss my super secret LA trip? I don't think it was that secret. I told everyone about it. I didn't fly out there without anyone knowing it. Thoughts on having part of your cons have a design day like Stonemaier Games does? Basically have incoming designers bring their game prototypes to be played and with the winner for the best? Nah. There's lots of cons that do that. I don't really want to do it. I was actually talking about this the other day. I mean, there's so many cons that do this, and I think that's fantastic and all. But if I do something like this, I'd have to play all these prototypes. I don't want to do that. I don't want to play through a bunch of bad games to find a few good ones. That's why I don't go to prototype cons. Again, very clearly, I'm not saying prototype cons are a bad idea. I just don't necessarily want them at my con. Or if someone wants to do them there, that's fine, but I don't care about it. Those news came from the French con, where there's a lot of upcoming games from Europe. That's why. I'm sure I'll hear about them all soon. A video game friend asked me what website is like Kotaku for board games, but I don't even know what Kotaku is for video games. Usually when I'm looking for video games, I'll go to IGN, I guess, or I just do a Google search and whatever pops up first is what I use. At game meetups, what's your favorite player count? About 100. I mean, the more people is the more games I can get into. If you had more free time, what would you do with it? Well, you know, the good in me would say, oh, spend it with family, right? The bad in me would say, I'd get more Dice Tower stuff done if I had more free time. How important is the amount of backstory in a game? I don't know. It helps. If the game is super thematic, it helps a lot. But there are many times where I'll get out of the game and I'll be like, in the backstory, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? And we go on to the game because who cares what the backstory is? How many kids did you always want to have? Several. What are the dice details around the D&D League stuff at Dice Tower West? That's Wizards of the Coast. That's something that they're running, I believe. So they have all the details, I think, on that. I don't really know a whole lot about it myself, but they wanted to do some of that there. How's the everyday life in the Dice Tower studio changed since the addition of the many live videos? Well, certainly it keeps me busy. I now need to say, okay, well, there's live videos, so I need to, like Monday, there's just the Q&A live. Other than that, you know, Monday I need to get a lot of videos recorded because on Tuesday is Testing Tuesday, and on Wednesday we got whatever the live shows for Wednesday. And so those live shows keep me on my toes. Will you perhaps be revisiting some of your older top 10 soon? We do that all the time. Our top 10 this past week was an older one. Top Gun may disagree about the Air Force having the best pilots. Oh, sure. You're right. I apologize. The movie would know more than me, for sure. Have I been to Mac and Chess in Miami? Sure. We love the live videos. Well, it's very nice of you. I appreciate it. How do you feel about the ice cream team's chances for the next big match? I don't know. They might retire soon. Who knows? We'll have to wait and find out about that. Why you removed the Rhino riding Optimus Prime on the shelf behind you? Oh, the stuff there is going to change all the time. Who knows why? Do you prefer to play or take on a trip a good card game or a card game based version of a board game you like? Huh? I don't understand that question at all. I just take fun games or new games. Usually new games. They may or may not be fun. We'll see. Which games did I play with the brothers Murph in LA? We played Tudor. And we played some other short game, but I don't remember what it was. Wasn't that one, wasn't that one, wasn't that one. Maybe it was just Tudor. That might have been the only game we played. I'm trying to think now. Tudor. There must have been another smaller game we played, but I don't remember. What's been your biggest rules goof? There's too many to count. Do game producers approach to hire the Dice Tower as a consultant for their games? It has happened on very, very, very rare occasions. I can't even remember the last time it's happened. If my prototype had key lime flavor text, would you consider playing it? No. Why? Green is hard to read. Man, I wouldn't want to. Green, like especially light green text, is really difficult to read. My guess for the game that Tom doesn't like, that has a lot of hype, is Tainted Grail for Awakened Realms. I don't think that's out yet, so no. Will you bring Spiky Dassers to Dice Tower West? Oh, not only are we bringing it, we're having a tournament of it there. Murph Brothers are helping me on that one. What game is the most complex, heavy, complicated game in the Dice Tower library? I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that one. There's a lot. Will any of us be at South by Southwest this year? Not anyone from the main headquarters here. We just can't go to everything. If I was going to make another board game, what would the theme be? probably about pigs, because boars, you know, and pigs are about the same thing. Maybe you'd be in the forest and wild boars would be attacking you. That's probably what I would do if I was making another board game. I've actually never made a board game to begin with. Will you organize the Spiky Dashers World Champion soon? I just said that. We're doing it at Dice Tower West. So if you want to be there, make sure you bring some Band-Aids. Gloves are allowed also. No, wait. No, we can't allow gloves. Can't allow gloves. Unless you want to bring in... No gloves. You can wear gloves as you warm up. Will you make participants sign a waiver before entering the Spiky Dastards tournament? I don't know. Is Queen's Gambit actually a good game? Yes. Is it in the Dice Tower library? Yes. What do you mean it's actually a good game? Why do people always... Okay, this is one thing that drives me nuts. When people do this, like, is that actually good? No. My review I just did was a filthy lie. I don't ever get that. When people ask that, then they say the word actually, I feel like they're asking, did you really lie earlier? Now tell me the truth. You know, I'll do a review game, someone will be like, did you actually like that? I said I liked it in the review. What? I'm not lying for these games. That always bugs me. You know, people like, now tell me the truth. What did you really think? I just did. Do you ever dream you're swimming in dice? That has never happened. Never. I'm not the Scrooge McDuck, you know, he jumped in the dice thing. How do you prepare for look back? I go through and find all the games, and then I just go and think about them. And if I don't remember what it is, then I have to go back and watch the review, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I have no idea what this game was about. I almost always remember them after I watch the review. Is Queen's Gambit about the Marvel character? No. If he was working for the Queen, so he'd be the Queen's Gambit? All right. Is Monopoly actually a good game? No, it is actually not. What's the meaning of life? Oh, that's really easy. But I'm going to cheat a little bit here. All right. The condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic material, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continuing change preceding death, or the existence of an individual, human being, or animal. And this, of course, is according to dictionary.com. How often do you update your scores on Board Game Geek? I do it when I do lookbacks. So every year, 5 years, and 10 years. Did you try Aeon's End Legacy? No, I haven't even seen it. Any plans to add Z Garcia as a dice in the boat on Miami Dice? No. Isn't it time, you think? No. Is the schedule for Dice Tower West up to date? Didn't you mention Dice Throne Tournament? I didn't see that on there. I did mention that. I'm not actually sure when that is. Doobie-doobie-doo. Bring back Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs. Maybe. I don't think that's going to come back, though, for sure. Am I caught up on questions? What? Or did this stop updating? This is great when I catch up on questions. Did you see the Restoration game unboxing from the Brothers Mirth? No, I didn't. I had asked them what the game was, and they said they didn't even know. They were doing, unbox it live on stream, but I never got around to watching it. Dinosaur Island or Dinogenics? That's a good question. Monopoly or Parcheesi? That's not a good question. What's your favorite theme? Food. Do you like key lime yogurt? I don't like, no, not really. Cheetos or Fritos? That's not a good question either. What game would you like Restoration Games to bring back? Well, I wouldn't mind if he brought back D&D so we could play that again. He hasn't been here for a while, but when he comes, I don't care what game he brings back to us. I don't think he's borrowed any of my games, so it's not like I'm like, hey, Justin, bring this game back. How realistic is a European Dice Tower Con? I'd say there's a chance of that happening in the future. There's no planning for it, but I would never say never. Oh, the unboxing was Valley of the Dinosaurs that they did. I see. Have you all received Resident Evil 2, the board game? We did not get it. I saw it at the store, but we didn't get a copy of it that I know of. Have you considered giving dates for cons farther out so people have more time to plan, like time to save for Dice Tower Cruise 5? You literally can save for them whether we announce it or not. Like if I say we're going to do, I'll help you out. We're doing a Dice Tower Con 5. So now you can start saving for it. Now I know what you mean. You mean saving the date. But we can't tell you the date until we sign the contract. I can't tell you it's going to be here, and we can't sign the contract until all the details are worked out. And we can't sign a contract unless we put down a extremely sizable deposit on these crews. And just as a small sneak look into the Dice Tower finances, I don't sit on huge amounts of money, so I can't throw down these deposits very easily. But we're about to announce the one for next year. So that's all I can tell you is that, I mean, it's going to be at the end of January. We know the dates for it. And it's going to be similar costs to last year, so now you know how much to save. If you don't know that, then the one in 2021 will be the same thing, so you can save up for that one. Good questions or bad questions? That's a bad one. Is this a bad question? Yes. Which question would be the best question? Not that one. If you could live one day in your life over, what would it be and why? Not today. That's like a super deep question, actually. I don't know what, yeah. There's good days and bad days. Oh, it's 11:01. I got stuff to do, folks. There's a lot of things going on today, so I'm going to get this ended here. But I do want you guys to know that I appreciate you all watching and coming and asking questions, and I will see you all tomorrow. Testing Tuesday starts at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we'll come back. We're going to be probably playing Quad Heroes. Is that what it's called? Quad Heroes? Quad Heroes, and maybe a couple other games. Not a ton of games because we're doing several live playings throughout the week, so we're spreading things out. But that's what's happening tomorrow. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Live Q&A on the Dice Tower. Where is everybody? Yes. Can I come in? Are we going to have the same problem again? Yes, we are. If you hit me with that club one more time, to the moon, Malice. All right. Well, all right. We have a problem. What's the problem? The dragons. The dragons are attacking. But the dragons attack pretty much every day. I know. But listen, the mammals are getting involved. So we're inviting a representative that the dragon's over. Did you pick one who's not going to be a pain in the neck like normal? Yeah. Hang on. Here he comes. Hello? Did you lock the fridge? Yeah, the fridge is locked. I put all the food in my backpack. Why do you think I'm carrying all this stuff around? Okay. Yeah, come on in. You guys got something to eat? No, we haven't been to the store lately. I had a few humans sitting around, but I ate them as a snack. What's in that bag? None of your business. Ask again, and we will beat the humans out of you. Well, the mammals are causing a problem. And I think we should have a joint thing between the dragons and the giants. Giants and dragons never, ever, ever work together. Now who did you invite? I didn't invite anyone. Oh, yeah, I invited a representative from the dinosaurs here. Oh, come on. See, his grammar isn't even any good. He's eating my head. Well, that was violent. Well, he was eating my head. He started it. Hang on, let me check. He's dead. Well, remember earlier when you asked about food? Yeah? Give me a second. What's he doing with the dinosaur? Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, he'll be fine. All right. In about 2 minutes, we'll have some meat. Ooh, yay. Wow. Why? Oh, I hate this guy. He's so creepy. Shut up. Just listen to him. What's going on? I was invited as a representative of the dragons. They sent me because they didn't trust you. Don't you feel like it's a little out of, It's just kind of silly when you drag your S's out like that. You know, I'm a giant. You don't see me like, I'm a giant every time I talk. I talk like that because that is how I talk. See, now you added an S to the end of a word that doesn't even have an S in it. I have poisons in my tail. Would you like to taste it? Oh my goodness. Is that food done yet? Yeah, hang on. There you go. What is this? I don't know. They said they didn't have food. Now they got food. It was pretty good. I should use my club more often. What does that mean? Never mind. Oh, but there's a mammal at the door. I will take care of it. Sir, go away. Get out of my face. See, this is why no one likes mammals. No, now listen to me. I'm from Australia. Well, that was awkward. He didn't even do anything antagonistic, and you clubbed him. Is he dead? I'll take him out. You know what, earlier when I said I had no food? I might have a snack, too. Give me a second. This place gets better. You giants are okay. Yeah, I know. Dude, why is Mario here? Hi, guys. Wait a minute. Should you be like, it's a me, Mario? I don't talk like that except when I'm doing I'm on. This is me. I'm not even Italian. You're not even alive. Why did you guys let the sand dragon in? He's super creepy. Why are you even here, Mario? Because I heard you guys were planning something and I want to make sure it's legit. You know, you're not the boss of us. Actually, I'm the registered police officer around here. Can I hit him with a club? No, he doesn't taste good. What does that mean? Oh, ding. I bet the snack's ready. Shh. Hey, we hear that one of our friends was in there. Oh no, the animals are here. What does that mean, oh no? What's in the kitchen? Here, have some of this. I've never had it before. It tastes like chicken. Yep, it's delicious. Our friend the koala bear has shown up and we want to know why he hasn't come back. I didn't see a koala. I didn't see a koala. Yes, there was a koala. He hit it with the club. You dragons are the worst. Watch. Mark my words. You think you dragons and giants are so great. We'll crush you all. Are you staring at me, kangaroo? You brought a baby to a negotiation? We're going to come back and we're going to destroy you guys limb from limb. Give us the koala now. Here. That's a plate of meat. Well, that could have gone better. I still don't understand what's going on. Why did you give him a plate of meat? How dumb are you? Why, I will leave and prepare for wars. It's just one war, not wars. If you keep making fun of mine, I will stab you. I'm armored. I'm like practically invincible. I'll be back. So stupid, you and your dumb S's. Woo! I will prepare for war. I'll be arresting everybody. Woo! Okay. Thanks for the food. Next time, just give it to me right when I come in. So what have we learned today? Well, we learned that he is a trigger-happy clubber. We also learned that you're a pretty good cook. I know! That stuff is delicious. You have my permission. You see a dinosaur or a koala, you club them. Which did you like better? I think the koala. Koala tasted pretty delicious. Yeah, and the dragon was pretty good too. Can I club him? Have you ever had giant? I am not a cannibal. You eat humans? He's like a big fat human. Wait.